So, imagine this. You're an Elvis impersonator, singing, performing, living your dream. And one morning, the FBI kicks down your door, accusing you of trying to assassinate the President of the United States. That's exactly what happened to Casey Lawrence, a man who wanted to be Elvis and ended up becoming a national headline. It's 2001 Mississippi. Casey is 33, a small town Elvis impersonator by night, a janitor by day. He's not rich, not famous, but he's happy enough. He loves the stage, the music, the cheers. When he's in that white jumpsuit, he is Elvis. But one night, while cleaning the hospital where he works, his whole world flips. He's assigned to clean an area he's not supposed to, the morgue. The smell is sharp, the air freezing cold. He's tired, thirsty, and he spots a refrigerator in the corner. He opens it, expecting soda or water, but instead, he finds arms, legs, hands, and a human head staring back at him. He slams the door, heart pounding. By the next morning, he tells his coworkers everything, and within hours, hospital administrators call him into an office. There are men in suits waiting. They push some documents toward him and say, "Sign this. You were in a restricted area." Casey refuses, and just like that, he's fired. That night, as he sits alone in his small apartment, one thought won't leave his mind. Why were those body parts there? And why were they so desperate to silence him? Weeks go by, but Casey can't let it go. He starts to think maybe this wasn't just a hospital accident. Maybe something darker's going on. He starts telling people they're harvesting organs. The elites are involved. The government knows. At first, people laugh. Then they start to avoid him. He loses his job. His wife leaves him. The Elvis shows dry up. Soon his apartment looks like a crime scene itself. Newspaper clippings, red strings, notes pinned on the wall. He spends his nights posting online about the truth, convinced he's being watched. He even tries to talk to politicians, a state senator, a congressman, but they ignore him. And that rejection only fuels him more. Casey becomes obsessed with exposing the cover-up, even if it destroys him. Then, in 2006, Casey finds hope. He hears about a small online newspaper run by a man named Dutsky Holland, a martial arts instructor and aspiring politician who promises to publish any story. Casey thinks finally, someone who'll listen. He emails him, calls him, even shows up at his studio. But Dutsky, worried about his political image, refuses to get involved. Casey, he says, "I can't print this stuff. It's crazy." That one word, crazy, shatters Casey. He sees Dutsky not as a journalist, but as part of the conspiracy. And soon, Casey starts harassing him online. He creates fake accounts, posts about Dutsky's family, calls him corrupt. Dutsky fights back. He starts calling Casey's Elvis gigs and tells the owners, "Don't hire him. He's dangerous." The feud goes on for years until 2013, when both their lives completely implode. 2013, the turning point. Dutsky gets arrested for exposing himself to teenage girls. He spends 90 days in jail. When he's released, his reputation's ruined. And Casey? He mocks him online, endlessly. Memes, posts, videos. It's nonstop. That's when Dutsky finally snaps. He orders castor beans, grinds them into ricin, one of the deadliest poisons on Earth, and stuffs the powder into envelopes with letters that say, "No one would listen to me." And he signs them. Casey Lawrence. He sends one to a senator, another to a local judge, and unbelievably one to President Barack Obama. The letters never reach their targets, intercepted by mail security. But the name on the envelope is clear: Casey Lawrence. Within days, the FBI raids Casey's home. They drag him out in handcuffs while neighbors watch. Cameras flash. The Elvis impersonator who tried to kill the president. That's the headline the next morning. Casey's terrified. He doesn't even know what ricin is. For hours, Casey sits in an interrogation room, trembling. He tells them again and again, "I didn't do this. Please, you gotta believe me." The agents show him his online posts, rants, conspiracies, angry messages. He looks guilty as hell. But one young agent notices something. The tone, the timing, it doesn't add up. He asks Casey, "Do you have enemies?" And Casey whispers one name: Dutski Holland. Days later, FBI agents raid Dutski's taekwondo studio. Inside, they find the grinder, ricin residue, gloves, drafts of the exact letters. It's undeniable, Dutski confesses. He did it to frame Casey, on to destroy him completely. He's sentenced to 25 years in prison. And Casey? He walks free, but he's broken. The stage lights don't feel the same. The music doesn't heal anymore. He still sings sometimes, but with that quiet sadness only a man who's seen too much can carry. He went from chasing applause to running from headlines. In real life, Paul Kevin Curtis, an Elvis impersonator from Mississippi, was falsely accused of sending ricin letters to President Obama in 2013. He was innocent. The man who framed him was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison.